Hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your side business. Welcome. Good. What? T-Money is in the house. Jenny, look who's here. T-Money. P-Money is in the house. J-Money, P-Money, T-Money. All the monies are in the house. You guys are going to love this topic tonight. I've been saying that pretty much every night, but you guys really are going to like this topic. I know, dude. Where have you been? T-Money. Come on now. Come on. Oh, man, I forgot. A little secret. I like to have a pen in my hand when I speak. I don't know why, but I do. I just, here it is. Oh, man. I really like to have a pen in my hand. So, tonight's topic, I know, dude. We've been praying for you. I know. So, tonight's topic is inspired by a conversation I had earlier with a friend. The subject came up being like confident or being overconfident or not even confident at all to basically being a jerk, right? So yes, you like the pen. So this is, I digress. So this is a stylus, right? I never knew there was such a thing, stylus, for like the iPhone or any phone. And I was watching a social media tutorial, and she was using this thing. And I'm like, what the heck is that? As somebody asked, they're like, what is that? And said, oh, it's a stylus. And I went to Amazon, and okay, can I tell you, this is like the greatest invention on the planet Earth, I really think. I just love this thing. So it's either the stylus, or if I've taken actual notes that I want to refer to, it's my blue Bic pen, which is it's always my pen. And if you know anything about that blue Bic pen, so I'll tell you this since I plugged my pen in. T-Money knows this, but I don't use any other pen until that pen runs out. That pen has to run out. I don't ever and if I don't if I lose it or if I don't know where I put it, I won't use another pen until I find it, because I know I'll find it. So I have to finish the blue pen, and then I don't know, I digress. So let's get back into the confidence thing. They have been around a long time. Yes. They've been the stylus. Yeah, I literally just found out a few months ago, and I was like, oh my God, where was it? And it came in a pack of 4. I was in heaven. I felt like, oh my God, this is I've bought a few things from Amazon. I'm a gadget guy. I digress one more time. I bought a few things from Amazon that I love. I'm like, maybe I should do a live. You know what? I'll do a live on one night. I'll do a live on all my stuff that I like from Amazon. How about that? But yeah, I'm a gadget guy, so I love the stylus. All right, let's get into tonight's topic. That's funny. They've been around for a long time. He has 2 himself. That's awesome. I literally just found out a few months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. I was like, what is that? That is so cool. Yeah, it's life-changing. So confidence, overconfident, underconfident, not enough confidence. What is it? Where does it come from? And sometimes, okay, I'll give you a little thing that some of you have known me for a long time before I have been doing lives, and this may be something that you already know. You're like, oh yeah, we know that about Sean, right? And some of you may not, and you may think that's kind of doesn't make sense, but I'll tell you why. Okay, so back in the day when there wasn't Facebook or lives or anything of that sort, when I would meet people in person, I would be, I don't know, working and then something would happen and I would actually meet somebody and have a conversation or what have you. I would meet somebody after being a friend for a long time. If they met me for the first time, um, I'm telling, this is kind of embarrassing to say, but 9 out of 10 times they would tell me, oh, you're not like what we thought you were. Literally, that's like the exact sentence I would get 9 out of 10 times. For years, they would say, oh, you're not what we thought you were. And my obvious question would be, well, what did you think I was? Right? And those same nine, with all of them, 100% of them would say, we thought you were like all ego and like you're bigger and better than everybody else kind of guy. That's what I always got, right? And I never understood why, because I don't want to be that guy. DBTG. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. I've never wanted to be that guy. Like I've always wanted to be the kind of guy, and this is probably because of my background, my childhood, and like stuttering and all that. But your vacuum line. Oh my God. Yeah, I know. I just have them. My parents left, so they've been here for a couple weeks. So every night they. Oh my God. I should not be admitting this. Um, I should not be admitting. So they've been here for a couple of weeks. So every night when they leave, I have to vacuum the whole entire place. So I have to have my line. I'm looking at my lines. I have to have my lines before I go to bed. Otherwise, I won't be able to go to bed. Samir, how are you? Namaste, namaste. So good to see you. You're gonna love this topic, Samir. I know you will. So that's funny, Jenny. That's funny. So back in the day, I always used to get from people that say, "Oh, we never thought you were like this. We didn't think you were like this." And I would say, "Well, what did you think I was?" And they would say, "Oh, we thought you were stuck up. You're better than everybody else. You're like not approachable. Don't come to me. Don't come near me," kind of guy. And I always never understood that. Like I was always confused. I'm like, that is not me. Like I love to like talk and be sociable and all this stuff, even though I've stuttered for years. I just want to be like that guy, right? But it's never dawned on me. And the difference has been really this whole transition with personal development and learning about myself and getting into more understanding me. It's changed a lot, right? My neighbor yelled at me for walking on her vacuum. I knew you'd be like, oh my God, don't bring up the neighbor subject. Oh no, here it comes. Do not bring up the neighbor subject. But yeah, I'm not even going to admit it. That's because I know some of you will call security on me. So, yeah, that's funny. That's funny. No, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, no. So I never understood why until I made the transition into the personal development and learning, like, you know. So here's what I want to share this with you. There's a difference between being confident and being a jerk and where it comes from and where it stems from. Being confident means you're postured, means you are pretty set in certain things. Now, there is such a fine line. I want you to pay real good attention here. There is such a fine line with being postured and confident versus being stubborn. Okay? This is very important to pay attention to. Being stubborn does not translate into being confident. Being stubborn means being closed-minded, being one way. And that does not translate into confidence. That actually translates into weakness. I've done a few lives on this, on different angles of being open-minded or closed-minded. But if you're closed-minded, that actually translates into weakness because you're afraid of letting things in that may or may not affect what you believe in today. And you don't want to deal with that. Right? And that's like I said, I've done a couple lives on that. But If you're being stubborn, that's not being confident. Confident and postured comes from this. You ready for this? I've talked about this before, but not in this context. That comes from your MVPs, your morals, your values, your principles. When you are structured and you've identified your morals, your values, your principles, you've identified them, and now you're sticking by them because it's taken you a while to put them together. It's taken you a while to pick and choose them because you didn't just kumbaya, my Lord, and chose your moral. I hope not, right? I hope you took your process, your years of life and experience and what I call life mileage. You've taken all that into consideration. Now you have what? You have your morals, your values, your principles, the things that, pay real good attention here. These are the things that don't matter if people are watching you or not watching you. You stick with them. It doesn't matter if there's a cop or there's no cop. Absolutely. MVPs, morals, values, principles. Absolutely. If you like to give credit, you can. You know, absolutely. Morals, values, principles. So when you're set with your morals, that's your tripod. That's your everything. Like if I'll give you a principle, okay? You go to the fast food store. You go to a fast food, and there's a fast food. There's a reason why I tell you this. There's a fast food place here like this. You go there and you buy your drink, your soft drink. Let's say you buy a large drink, right? There are no refills, even though the machine is outside, like it's self-service, but there's no refill. Are you paying attention here? What does your principle say? Does your principle say I can go ahead and refill it if there's nobody around to watch, nobody will know? Or does your principle say, regardless if people are going to know or not, my principle is that the store policy is no refills, so I respect that. Get a refill, right? 9.5 out of 10 would say get a refill. That's your principle you set for you, right? So if you're set in your principles, you're confident. If somebody tells you, like, this has happened to me, I've gone there with somebody and they have wanted me to refill mine, and I said, I just don't. I'll just pay the extra 50 cents. I just respect that. And they laughed at me. They looked at me. They're like, dude, what the hell's wrong with you? There's nobody here. Just refill it. I go, that's not the point. The point is, I don't do that. I mean, I respect it. Right? So that may come across being like, well, who do you think you are? But then I'm setting my principle and my morals and values. I feel like that I should respect that. If you respect the rules of others, then other people will have to respect yours. See, if you don't respect other people's rules, you have no right to ask others to respect yours. Plain and simple. If you don't respect other people's, I didn't say agree. This is huge. I never said if you don't agree. If you don't respect other people's, right, rules, then you can't ask for that. Right? So if you give that, if that's your principle, you're like, that's my principle, right? I just don't want to do that. It's just not worth the 50 cents to me. Because then I would feel feel bad all day. It would scratch my principle. It just, Now, there was a time I did that, but I've identified my morals, values, and principles throughout the years. I've kind of put them together carefully. Now I kind of know, what I'm comfortable with, what I'm not comfortable with. And the confidence comes from what I call life mileage. You've gone through so much stuff in life. You've been able to collect so much data, so much experience, right? I've talked about the layers on the skin. You've gone through so much of that stuff that at one point you've really got to stop and think to yourself, do I really need to be somebody else? Do I need to lie? Do I need to like pretend? Why? Once you lie and pretend, you're gonna grab the kind of crowd that likes that, right? That individual that you're pretending and lying to be. So they like that. So then they wouldn't like the real you. So it would be like somebody who pretends and lies. Why would you want that? Doesn't like make any sense. Then you'd always have to pretend and lie to entertain those folks. Well, why don't you just start with you in the beginning? Not like pretend or lie. So if you have this kind of a background and you've Shiva Jun, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you. Hopefully you circle back, watch it. But if you've gotten to this point and you've collected the data, the experience, the obstacles, the getting back ups, right? The stories, like I've talked about this many times, stories are meant to be shared, not stored. So if you've gone through all that stuff, you've identified your morals, your values, your principles, and now you know, hey, one of the principles is like, you know what, I'm not going to be a jerk to everybody. That's a moral, that's a principle. That's like, you know what, I'm going to be nice to somebody because they may have a rough day, right? I'm going to tip more than I normally do, right? Why? My kids, how lying is my biggest rule. How lying is a good thing or how not lying? I'm a little confused there, Jenny. But if you're set in those, and it's like this, it's the way you deliver your morals, your values, your principles, and yourself, right? You can deliver them like with a force and being a jerk and all this stuff, and you're like, or you can just, you be comfortable because it's just who you have become. You're comfortable with everything, right? And that gives you know what it gives? It gives kind of a presence. It's more than just confidence. It's like presence, right? Like you feel the presence of somebody. It gives that kind of a presence that somebody, hey, you know what? They're solid. They're postured in what they believe, what they stand for. Some things, yay. Listen, I've talked about this before. Not the whole planet, not everything in life is black and white. There's like 2% black, 2% white, the rest is gray. But that 2%, you got to really be firm with those, again, MVPs, right? So with that being said, the next time you want to kind of give that vibe or portray that, make sure it comes from a solid foundation. And here's where the the background is, right? You being confident, it comes from a solid foundation. It's not a cry for help. See, I can tell my story in a way that you would sit there and cry and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You just sit there and cry for me. And it's like you feel bad for me. I'm saying it to what? Grab love and attention. I talked about this a couple nights ago, right? So if you tell that story that way, that doesn't come from a solid foundation. That doesn't come from confidence. That comes from lack of confidence. That hole in there, you're trying to grab the love and the attention and to do what? To fill that hole. That's why you're doing that. You're saying stuff to grab a hold of that and pull it in to patch the holes. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. When you look at it, that's really the truth. That doesn't come from confidence. Because if you're telling a story, even if it's a sobbing story, Well, don't tell it if you're going through hell right now. Tell it when you got out of hell. That's the ticket. You sitting there saying, oh, my life is just a mess right now. And but if you say, you know what, my life was a mess 2 months ago, but I took charge and I started and do this and that, and I'm trying to grab a hold of things now. That's a different story, isn't it? That comes from confidence. That doesn't come from a cry for help. So when you're speaking, it's okay. And here's the thing. It's okay to borrow somebody's confidence because sometimes you don't have it, but somebody believes in you. And you got to buy into that. That's something you got to buy into because you don't have. So you got to buy into that confidence until you grow your own. It's not like everybody has had confidence when they were born. No, because we've been beat up so many times, it's not even funny, right? So it's okay if sometimes you don't have it. Like, for example, you get into a new job, new profession, you get into like direct sales, and you have no confidence. But why? Because you haven't done it. You have no idea what the hell to do. Let's say you get in the kitchen for the first time, and you're like, what am I supposed to do? Where do I put my hands? You know? So it's okay to borrow somebody else's confidence when they actually genuinely believe in you and you feel that genuinely. If you feel that, then you can borrow that and grow with that, right? Shima June, I normally schedule people to come on, but we can schedule some come on. So does that make sense? You guys understand that? So hopefully, you can kind of feel somebody's being a jerk or being a confident person, right? Because like I said, being a jerk, it just comes from either listen to me, hurt people, hurt people. Hurt people, hurt people. Loved people, love people. Right? Somebody's in pain, somebody is in pain and going through a rough time, they usually are not there for other people. Usually. They're usually asking for help. It's a cry for help, right? They want that love. And it's the same thing here. So somebody being a jerk or somebody just being like over, what have you, all you can do is pray for them. Pray for him and let go, let God, right? You pray for him and you just you do you. I've talked about this before. You don't want to change to become them if it sucks to be them. You just be you. You be the light example, right? And so again, if you want to portray that, it just comes with life mileage, your experience, really sitting down, putting your MVPs together, morals, values, and principles. Be careful what you choose, and when you put them carefully together, and when you're solid on your foundation, then it's totally okay. You have that presence about you, and that's here. I'm gonna mic drop here for you. That's where leadership comes from. Who do you follow? People who are a jerk, or people who have a presence about them? Somebody, a powerful speaker like Tony Robbins walks into a room, you see him for the first time, you're going to tell your guy next to you, you're like, that's him, that's Tony. Yeah. That's how you become a leader, and people would like to follow you. Because you have that presence, you come from confidence, you come from life mileage, you got stories to tell, and you don't leave people hanging in the dark and through like the hell. You got through hell, and now you're telling the story how you got through it, right? So I can talk about this for a long. Oh my goodness, I've been talking for half an hour. Hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value from this. I can't wait to go back and reread the comments and respond back to them. Hopefully you guys get some love out of this. If you feel like this was worthy of sharing, do what you got to do. Spread the love, tag a couple people, share it. You know what to do. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. Team Money, I can't wait to read you. Can't wait to go back and read yours. I'm just kidding. And with that, I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you look, start, and grow your side business. Signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.